Okay, so we're continuing on the Hachaim. Now that we learned the secret and the idea that when we sleep, we raise the sparks of the neshama of that day up to Shemaim, the Hachaim now is going to touch on a very interesting point. The Hachaim wonders, which I'm sure many people wonder, how come Adom Rishon lived till 930, excuse me, others lived till 920, right? Noach lived over 600 years. And later on, as the generations continued, the lifespan actually dropped significantly. Where Avram Avinu was already at 180, Yaakov was at 137, and Moshe Rabbeinu was 120, and for the most part, nobody ever lived past 120 with 2 or 3 exceptions that the Gemara brings down, right? And even in our days, a person who lives 100 years is considered, a very long life. We should all be zoicha to a long life, but it's nowhere near even where Avram was 180 or 500. So what happened? So based on the principle that we learned before, the Hachaim now is going to teach us the secret. Gam heir lemul einenu teshuas tayroimus gabnei Adom ganesh. A lot of people have a complaint. Hey, if I would live 300 years, you know how many times I could finish Shas? You know how many mitzvahs I could do? Right? Maz oisalonokim. Why did Hashem only give us 100 years of life? Right? Imagine, Simcha, you lived 300 years. You know how many things you could accomplish? Hey, it's not fair. Adom Rishon lived till 900, till 930 to be exact. So what's the difference between them who lived for a long time and us? Adom lived 930 years. His children, some lived 800, some lived 700. And we who live what's considered a long life doesn't even reach 100 years. 90. Someone who lives 90 years old is considered a person who lived a long life. If a person lived 90 years old in the time of Adom Rishon, Adom Rishon would blink his eye, he was 90. Right? And he could still live on for another 1,000 years. Right? Imagine we lived for 1,000 years, right? We'd be alive when Rashi was alive, right? When the Rambam was alive. So what happened? Now remember, the Hachaim wrote this in 1700s. Right? That was 250 years ago, right? So imagine we lived 400 years, we would have seen the Hachaim. However, based on the introduction that we learned before, the Hachaim says, I'll explain to you, you'll feel 100% at ease why Hashem changed the lifespan of a person. The Hachaim is going to give a mashal. But a king called all of his craftsmen, and he said, I'm going to give you each stones to work on. To shape it, to cut it, to make them beautiful, fit for a king. And to put it in gold. Like the king has in his treasury. The person who's diligent and is careful and makes a perfect polished diamond, right? What does he get? He gets a block of earth, of wheat, of grass, of weeds, of diamond, and he has to shape it and mold it and chop it up and purify it. And one who does that, as a reward, he's going to get the stones. Not only will it be his, it will be for his generations to come. That's the reward. Okay, we're still going on with the mashal. And just so we have an understanding, the mashal refers to the neshama that Hashem gives us. Hashem gave us a neshama that's, as we just learned, was damaged by Adom Rishon. And he says, I'm going to give you this neshama, purify it, shape it, cut it, make it look beautiful, fit to come back to Hakadosh Baruch Hu. If you do, it will be yours, and your children and grandchildren will be able to benefit from this neshama for generations. That's the nimshal. Correct? Now, what did he do? What did the king do? He said, I'm not going to give you one stone, I'm going to give you thousands of stones to work on. One he gave 350,000. And some he gave 300,000. We'll see where the Hachaim got this number from. So keep this number. So imagine he gave to Reuven 350,000 stones to work on for his life. $300,000 to Shimon. V'kavalem azman, And he said, you have a specific amount of time to do the work. Every day, another stone. Kaviyachol, to what we were learning. Every day, you have to fix another chelik of your neshama. When you finish whatever you have to do, when it came to the day that the person was supposed to finish what he was supposed to do, he called all of the craftsmen who were working on these stones, and they brought all the stones. And instead of bringing him beautiful diamonds and gems and rubies and emeralds, they brought him garbage. They actually didn't even make it nicer, they ruined it. They chopped it in half, they broke it. They basically told the king, take your garbage diamond back. And he says, I understand. When I gave it to you, it was even better than this. And I gave it to you to fix it. Why'd you ruin it? The Kas HaMelech HaLadavar, he got very angry, he destroyed all of them. Lahavdil, just so we understand what the mashal is, Hakadosh Baruch Hu gave everybody 900 years to work on the neshama. Instead of working on the neshama and purifying it, the people of those generations ruined the neshama. Right? The Dor HaMabul, the Dor HaFlaga, Sedoim. So Hashem said, I gave you something, you're ruining it. You're not making it better. Right? I gave you 900 years, so you have 900 years to work on your neshama. Correct? So Hashem, so what did he do? So you're going to ruin it, I'm not going to give it to you. So he called, now what he did was he called the children of the craftsmen. Right? He called now Noach and his children. So we understand the Nimshal. He said, look what your fathers and grandfathers did. I gave them a neshama to work on. Not only didn't they fix it, they made it worse. So now I'm giving you the job to do it. Right? Kaviyachol, Hashem told Noach, I gave your father and your grandfathers the jobs to fix the world that Adom and Rishon did, and not only didn't they fix it, they made it worse. So now it's on you to do it. And he warned Noach, don't do like your fathers did. The king told the servants, don't mess up the diamonds and the gems like your fathers did. However, the king was smart. He said, if I'm going to give them 350,000 stones, they're not going to take it serious. So therefore, let me give them less stones, and I'm going to give them a tighter deadline. So less stones and a tighter deadline, they're going to take it more serious. So too, Hashem said, I'm not going to let people live to 900 years, because the guy will do 500 years, he'll do all various. He'll say, yeah, when I'm 700, I'll fix my stuff. So he started telling people, you're going to have a much shorter lifespan. You don't have enough time to play. And in the end, the truth was, right, it didn't work out as well, so Hashem even had to make it even less. So the Hachaim says, the Nimshal is Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Like we said, we're going to learn the rest outside. Hashem gave us a neshama, and he told Adom Rishon, and he told his children, and he told his grandchildren, until Noach, you have 800 years to fix it. And they didn't fix it, they made it worse, because they always said, tomorrow we'll do it, tomorrow, yeah, plenty of time, I still have another 400 years to live. Hashem said, no, I'm not giving you that option anymore. Now, I'm going to give you the option, you're only going to live for 120 years. So now, and you have less to fix. Right? That's why there's more neshamas in the world, because one root neshama could be split to 5,000 people, whereas 5,000 years ago, one root neshama would be one neshama. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, that's why there's more people in the world, because Hashem divided the job of one to 1,000 people. And even still, says the Hachaim, we still aren't doing what we're supposed to be doing. So if you take the years of a person, which is 70 years times 365, he gave us 25,000 days. 350,000, the number that we said before, is about 900 years, 930 years. You do 930 times 365, comes approximately to 350,000. So that's where the Hachaim got that number from. So the Hachaim explains the reason that Hashem lowered and contracted the lifespan is he saw that if he didn't give them a deadline and didn't give them less work to do, they would actually ruin it. So that's why today people only live 190 years. They have less what they have to work on. There's other people, there's Gilgulim, sometimes they have to come back because they didn't finish anything. Originally, Hashem didn't want to do this. Hashem said, I'll give you the opportunity to do everything. When Hashem saw that they weren't doing it, He changed it to this method. Again, not that Hakadosh Baruch Hu changed it, but He gave us the opportunity to do what we were supposed to do. We didn't do the opportunity, we actually made it worse. So Hashem said, redesignated in a way that it would work for us. Or Hashem didn't want us to have kindness later. Why didn't you give us the opportunity? So Hashem gave us the opportunity, we ruined it, and this is why people live 100 years instead of 800 years.